Okay guys, so for this video I'm going to show you guys how to make pizza casserole or beefaroni, whatever you guys want to call it. So let's go ahead and jump into the ingredients. Okay, so the first thing you need is your ground beef. I got 2 packs here that I am going to be making. You will also need your pasta sauce. I'm just using the regular Ragu brand. This is the actual Ragu brand and traditional. You will also need a box of elbow macaroni. This is just a 1-pound box. Depends on how much you guys are making. I'm only going to be making just a little bit, but I want to add more hamburger to it. That's why I'm making 2 packs. And you'll also need mozzarella cheese. I don't know how much cheese I'm going to put on mine, so I am using 2 packs. Then the very last ingredient you need is your pepperoni to go on top of it. I'm just using this brand because this is also what's had. And also with ours, I'm making the Texas toast garlic bread because with this stuff like this, I love having garlic bread. So yeah, let's move on to this actual things you need. Okay, so over here on the stove, I have my spoon and my spatula. The spatula is to turn over my hamburger and stuff, and then the spoon is to stir the Ragu sauce into the hamburger. You also need a skillet to fry your hamburger in. I'm just using my non-stick skillet. You also need a bowl, depending on how much hamburger you're making. So I got my biggest bowl here. And the last thing you will need is your pan to layer this in. I'm using Babe's casserole dish here. Or you can use a regular glass lasagna pan like I always use for lasagna. But I'm using this because it's going to be deeper and it's going to be easier to spread everything into so it'll be even. I also forgot to mention you need a colander thingy here to drain your grease, or you can just scoop it out. It don't matter, it's up to you. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, since my hands are already washed and everything, is I'm going to open my hamburger and just put that in my pan, as you guys can see. Now I'm just going to turn my burner on the medium-high heat. And then I'm just going to let this fry until there is no more pink in it. So I'm going to go ahead and add the other pack, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to fry this up until there's no more pink showing. And also forgot to mention you need some cooking spray to spray your pan so it won't stick. So I got my burner on medium-high heat, and I just chopped it up like this so it will fry quicker and better, I guess. I don't know what the actual term for that is. But like I said, I got it on medium-high heat, and I'm just going to let this fry until it gets almost done. And then I'll come back and show you guys the hamburger. Okay, so in the meantime, while my hamburgers are frying, I'm going to get my macaroni water ready. Okay, so I'm just going to set my macaroni water right here until my hamburger gets almost done. That's the way when it gets done, I can just switch pots over, because this burner takes forever to heat up. And then the other ones, you guys can see they're smaller burners, so this pot won't really fit on there when I have my pan on there. But also, while I'm waiting on my hamburger and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and spray my pan with the pan cooking spray, as you guys can see. Okay guys, so now I'm going to be adding my macaroni to my water because my hamburger's already done, as you guys can see it over chilling in the corner. So now it is time to add my macaroni. Also got to drain my grease. So in goes the macaroni. I'm just going to stir it really quickly so it won't stick. Okay, now I'm going to drain my grease and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to drain my grease. Stir my macaroni a little bit more. Now I'm just going to drain my grease and I'll be right back. Okay. So while that's draining, I'm going to stir my macaroni again. Okay, so now since my hamburger is drained, I am going to move over here to my bowl. Okay, so now got the hamburger drained. Put it in my bowl. Okay, so now I'm just going to get my potato masher here. You don't have to do this, but I do it so there ain't so many big chunks of hamburger. That's just a little tip that I like giving out when I make anything with hamburger to anybody. I love giving this tip out to anybody. Because it don't make the hamburger that big. Especially like if you really don't like big chunks of hamburger. I mean, I love big chunks of hamburger, but that's like in chili and stuff like that. But like lasagna and stuff, I like smashing it like this, so there's more to go around. And what I'm doing, I'm just taking my hand, putting it like this, and I'm twisting the bowl. At the same time, I am mashing it. So now you guys can see from when I started mashing it to now, there ain't that many big chunks. Like there's still just a few big chunks, but not much. Okay, so my macaroni is almost completely done. It's starting to get a little soft. As you guys can see now, it's starting to get soft there. So I want to get things set up so I can drain my macaroni and so I can start getting everything else put together. Okay, so while my macaroni is finishing up, I'm going to preheat my oven. And like I said when I was fixing the roast, that my button for my bake right here is broke. So I have to use a knife and go like this to get it preheated. So as you guys can see, I'm preheating it to 350 degrees. And I'm just going to start it. And then I'm just going to let it preheat and do its thing. Okay, so now my macaroni is done. I'm going to drain it in the same bowl that I did with the hamburger. So, here we go. I'm just going to set that over here. Go over here to my hamburger. Okay, so now I'm over here at my hamburger. I'm just going to put in my noodles. I want to get this stirred together. I'm using the wrong spoon. So I'm going to stir this together first. That's the way I won't have noodles flying everywhere. So let's get this all incorporated here. Hang on, I'm going to raise you guys up some. Okay, so now you guys are looking at it perfectly. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my ragu here and open it and just pour that in there. And just stir this up like this. And I'll see you guys back in just a second. Okay, so I got it stirred up. And I had to put just a little bit of water in my thing here to get the excess off the sides. So now I am going to take my pan here, my pan, I'm going to have to spray it just a little bit more. Okay, so the way I am actually figuring on doing this is layering this like you would lasagna. So I'm going to open up both packs of cheese just so I can have both of them already ready. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm just going to open my pepperoni. And like I said, I'm going to layer this like lasagna. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some of my mixture and just put some on the bottom here, just like this. Kind of smear it out. Pretty much this process is just the same way I do my lasagna. As I just cover the bottom of the pan, take some cheese, sprinkle that on top, and pepper. Okay, so now I'm just going to, like I said, layer this like I would my lasagna. So as you guys can see, I'm just going to layer this, and this just puts me in mind of being back at Mr. Getty's making pizzas with how I got the pepperonis in my hand. So I'm just going to do that like this, and probably in between also each layer I'm going to add some Parmesan just to make it taste a little bit better. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle some Parmesan, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Just I'm going to pretty much, like I said, layer this like I do lasagna. Just make sure all these pepperonis on the bottom layer here is covered. And then I'm just going to keep doing that, as you guys can see. I'm just going to keep doing that all the way until it reaches the top. Just like this here. And I really don't know the exact size of this pan, but you can use any size pan, like casserole dish, lasagna pan that you want, just as long as it, you know, makes enough for you and your family. So I'm just going to keep doing this until there's hardly any more left. Because, like, on my lasagna and stuff, I like a lot of cheese. And on my pizza, I like a lot of pepperoni. So, I'm just going to finish this like this. And then, here in just a second, I will see you guys back. Well, after I get this finished. But for you guys, it will be just a second. So, as you guys can see, I'm just putting pepperoni on, and then I'm putting the Parmesan, adding the other stuff. So I guess I will see you guys back here in just a second. Okay, so now I am just going to sprinkle the rest of my cheese on top, as you guys can see here. So I'm trying not to get any off the edges of the pepperoni here. That's the way it won't hardly stick to the pan, if that makes sense to you guys. And sorry, I hit my tripod. So, as you guys can see, okay, now since I got that done, I am just going to add some more pepperoni on the top here. As you guys can see, until like I kind of feel comfortable like that's enough pepperoni, if that makes sense. But you can add or whatever to this. You can also put onions in it. You can put garlic, oregano, whatever other seasonings you want into your hamburger. Now, this is my first attempt on this, so I really don't know how well this is going to actually turn out for me, because I just seen a picture on Facebook of it. So, and then I'm just going to add just a little more Parmesan on top, and then there you guys go. Now I'm just going to leave this in the oven until my cheese is melted, like kind of brownish melted. So I really don't know how long that will be, but I'm going to set a timer so I will know. That's way I can give you guys a specific time when I get it out of the oven. So I'm going to see you guys back when it gets done. That will be for you guys a minute. Okay, for one, sorry how my oven looks. I ain't cleaned it yet because where I fixed the roast yesterday, it kind of got everywhere, so I ain't had time to clean it yet. But now I'm just going to put the lid on it. My lid will actually go on it and fit right. So there you guys go. So like I said, I ain't had time to clean my oven, so
I thought I told you to stay outside.
just want to sit it in there until it gets done, and then I will give you guys a specific time here in a little bit. All right, guys, so there's how it is looking now. So it's been about it's already been about 10 minutes, so I'll probably give it another 15-20 minutes, give or take. Just saying. Okay, guys, so it has been already 30 minutes, and now let's get this bad boy out of the oven. Huh? Because for me it's a bad boy.
I'm right here. I'm a bad boy.
Okay. Okay, so here it is out of the oven. I'm not going to take the lid off of it yet because I also still got to make the garlic bread. So that is what I'm going to do now. Okay, so for the garlic bread, or garlic, whatever it's called, I'm just going to spray my pan just a little bit so it won't stick. And we're just going to open these bad things up. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to open these bad girls up. Because I called Dad a bad boy, so these are bad girls. And just take the paper off with that, and I'm just going to
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 40, 11.
Just going to lay them
$97.99.
like this. Now I'm going to put these in the oven, and then I'll see you guys back when these get done so we can dig into the stuff. Okay, so I got my garlic bread out now. I left that in there for about 10 minutes, and the casserole stuff I left in there for maybe 30 minutes. So now it is time to cut this up and serve it. Okay, so I've already got my knife here ready, and let's just take this off. Oh my God. Like I said, this is my first attempt on this. So as you guys can see how good this really looks. So now it is time to cut it. I don't know how I want to cut this, but let's just go down this way. Oh my God. It is a whole lot thicker than lasagna. I just dropped a piece of pepperoni on the stove. And I just cleaned the stove. This knife sucks. Okay. So now I am going to get some plates. Okay. Let's see. Okay, guys. Okay. So I got my spoon. Let's dig a piece of this out. Where did I do with my knife? So I need to cut this piece just a little bit better. And holy cow, there is what it looks like. So I don't know how well you guys are seeing this, but there is what it looks like. So yeah. Here is the other piece. It is a whole lot cheesier than my lasagna. So there you guys have it. Homemade pepperoni, pizza casserole, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah. And here is more of a closer, in-depth view of the insides of it. And now just putting a piece of garlic bread on the plate.